Welcome to Keep It Pro Training Call, brought to you by Networking Wisdom. Welcome to Keep It Pro Training Call, brought to you by Networking Wisdom, featuring Romacio Fulcher. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Monique, and I have the privilege and honor of introducing Romacio today. He's the creator of Network Wisdom, and the reason for this call each and every Sunday at 4 p.m. for over 4.5 years. On this call, you will learn the skills to be successful in network marketing and in life. Romacio Fulcher is a well-respected international leader, trainer, coach, and a much-sought-after mentor. He's a highly successful entrepreneur with 750,000 people globally in his network and has accomplished over $1 billion in sales. Romacio enjoys having fun and sharing his wisdom worldwide. He's a millionaire mentor, leader of leaders, and coach of coaches. As a top leader and a top earner, he's also a top 50 worldwide earner in MLM. At the tender age of just 25 years young, Romacio earned his first $1 million in mortgage and real estate shortly after he was introduced to the network marketing industry. This man knows how to make money, and he knows how to make money fast. What we all like most about him is his love for God and for mankind. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to some and present to others our mentor and friend, the California Kid, also known as a marketplace minister, Mr. Romacio Fulcher. Romacio, have you joined us?
Absolutely, I am here. Thank you so much, Monique, for once again stepping up and hosting this wonderful call. What's happening, guys? I hope you're doing well out there, guys. We've got a good call today talking about specific skills that it's going to take you to get where you're trying to go. So we're going to be training on skills today. It's going to be a short call, but it's going to be very effective. So I want to make sure you've got yourself a quick pen and paper, something that you can write with. And if you can't, just make sure that you actually listen to the replay. For those of you that are just joining us for the very first time, if this is your first time here with us, we've been doing this for over 4.5 years. 4.5 years we've been doing this call. Literally, I love doing this call every single Sunday because there's two specific things that we specifically train on this call. Number one, we will teach you the specific skills that you need to get yourself to the top of whatever business that you're promoting. So if you are an entrepreneur of any kind, let's just say you're starting off in your entrepreneurial journey. Let's say you're midway, or let's say you're a seasoned, polished veteran. No matter who you are, we're going to teach you the specific skills on how to get to the very top of what it is you're doing. Guys, listen, I want you to know that success does not happen overnight, but rather it happens night after night, okay? So we're going to really talk about that. But the second thing that we also teach every single Sunday is we teach you life skills as well. One of the things you're going to find, guys, is that as you grow as a person, both spiritually, mentally, okay, emotionally, as you grow, and anytime you hear me talk about growth, I want you to write this down. Anytime you hear me talk about growth, the way I look at growth, there's only two forms of growth. Number one, your perspective about a particular issue or situation will evolve. It will change. In other words, let me give it to you like this. Let's just say you were, when you were a young girl or a young man and you were walking through the shopping mall, and let's just say somebody bumped into you on accident, and there you are, you turned your nose up, you got an attitude, and you wanted to fight, right? Well, let's say here you are now, you're a much older woman, and you're walking through the mall, and somebody bumps into you. Instead of you turning your nose up wanting to fight, you tell that person, you've been excused. You tell that person, you've been excused. And now, what's the difference between the two situations? Somebody will say that the difference is that you're wiser now, so you respond to things differently. Well, I call that growth. There's two forms of growth. Number one, your perspective will change about how you should respond to a particular situation in your life, okay? The second type of growth is not just that your perspective will change. I believe all real growth requires action. That's right, it requires action. So on this call, we're going to teach you the specific skills to get you to the top. And number two, we're going to teach you life skills. You're going to find that as you grow, everything else around you automatically grows. Your business is a reflection of you. Your relationships are a reflection of you. The way people respond, react, and treat you is a reflection of you. It all is a reflection of you. So congratulations on those of you that are actually listening to this live or listening to the replay, because we've been doing it for 4.5 years. And guess what? Here's the best part. It's absolutely free. We don't charge you a dime. Wow. Yeah, that's right. That's a lot of value to get every single Sunday, absolutely free. So let me just share with you, if you want to say thank you, if you want to help us on what my mission is, here, write it down, and then we'll begin. We firmly believe what we make happen for others, God will gladly make happen for us. We firmly believe what we make happen for others, God will gladly make it happen for us. Write that down. Never forget it. I'm not here to be your motivator. I'm here to be a coach. I'm giving you stuff that I know to be true. I know it works. 10 out of 10 times, I know this works, okay? All right, guys. Well, listen, let's go ahead and jump into today's topic. Today we're going to be focusing on a particular skill. As we told you, we teach you the specific skills that you need to get to the top. Well, let me share with you one of the most pertinent skills, one of the most important skills you're going to need if you're promoting anything. And we're going to talk about follow-up. We're going to talk about, if you guys know me, if you don't know me, it's your first time listening in, I keep things very simple. I keep things very, very simple. I believe the simpler the better, right? Keep it simple. All right, so what we're going to be talking about is how to effectively follow up. How to effectively follow up. Now, let me tell you what amateurs do. Amateurs they'll not even follow up at all. An amateur is someone, they won't even follow up. They'll think that, hey, when I call you the first time and ask you about are you interested in whatever it is you're promoting, an amateur will say, okay, well, if they don't get a positive yes on the first call, I don't need to follow up with them anymore. That's what an amateur will do, right? Let me tell you another mistake that amateurs will make. Sometimes an amateur will follow up, and they'll get on the call, and they'll just start talking about nothing, about nonsense. They'll just start talking about nothing. What I want to encourage you today is I want to encourage you to be a professional. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. When you follow up with anyone about anything that you are promoting, right? When you follow up, there are two specific questions that I teach and I do. There's two specific questions and only two. Follow-up is really about listening. Follow-up is not about selling. I said it again. Following up is really about listening. Write that down. It's not about selling. The second point I want you to understand when you follow up, the person who's asking the questions is the one that's in control. So I'm going to give you the two questions that you should be asking when you follow up. All right. So as we're talking about follow-up, let's assume that you've already given your prospect some information about whatever it is that you're promoting. Perhaps, ideally, you should have given them a video or given them something that they can see or read, and it needs to be short in nature. Anytime you're presenting something, the first exposure to your customer or your client, it should never be long. It should always be an overview, and it should be short in nature. I would say definitely under 10 minutes. Definitely. If you're contacting me for the first time to sell me something, or you want me to participate or take a look at something, if it's going to take me longer than 5, and I'm stretching it, guys. If it's going to take me longer than 5 to 10 minutes to focus on what it is that you're trying to pitch me, I am not interested. I don't care how great it is. Because, see, remember, in the beginning stages, a person needs to take a look at something just to see if they're interested. Did you hear that? In the beginning, they just need to take a look, just a quick glance, just to see if it even piques my interest, right? So to pique my interest, if it takes you 15, 20 minutes to pique someone's interest, that's too long. The shorter, the better, okay? Now, let's move into follow-up. Now, when you follow up, assuming that you've already given them some information to look at, listen to, review, whatever. When you follow up, there's 2 questions. Grab your pen. Grab your pen, guys. This applies to anything that you're promoting, a product, a service, a vision, a concept, okay? Listen to me. Please write this down. What I'm talking about is it applies to anything. Remember, I have sold billions and billions of dollars in revenue in different products and services that I've promoted, billions, okay? So this applies to anything, what I'm teaching you, anything. It applies to a product or a service. It applies to a vision or a concept. It does not matter, okay? So here is the first question when following up. So let's say you're on the phone with Bob. Question number 1. Bob, is there anything stopping you or preventing you from moving forward with me on this? Question number 1, Bob, is there anything stopping you or preventing you from moving forward with me on this? Do you see how specific the question is? Bob, is there anything stopping you from moving forward with me on this? And after you ask the question, you want to be quiet and listen to the answer. So for those of you that love to talk a lot, this is the time where give you some advice. After you ask the question, put some water in your mouth so it forces you to listen and not speak. Right? Okay, so that's question number 1. Now, question number 2. Bob is going to tell you what the issue is. He's going to tell you what's stopping him from moving forward. He's going to tell you. Whatever it is, he's going to let you know. He will let you know. Your second question to Bob is, if we can successfully conquer that, are you ready to move forward now? If we can successfully provide or conquer that, are you ready to move forward now? So whatever they tell you is stopping them, your answer to them is, if we can successfully take care of that, if we can successfully conquer that to your liking, are you ready to move forward now? If we can handle that, are you ready to move forward now? Yes or no? If we can handle that, if we can take care of that, if we can successfully conquer that, are you ready to move forward now? So let's review these 2 simple questions. Question number 1 is for you to identify what the issue is. What's stopping them from engaging with you? What's stopping them from moving forward with you? So you want to identify the issue. Now, sometimes a customer will tell you, well, it's this issue, it's that issue. There will be more than one issue. Okay, and if that's the case, what you want to do is you want to repeat back to them. So, Bob, you're telling me, so I want to make sure I understand you clearly. So, Bob, you're saying it's this issue right here, number 1. You're also saying it's this right here, number 2. And you're saying it's this issue right here, number 3. Do I have all 3 of these correct, Bob? Yes or no? Bob says yes. Okay, then you proceed to question number 2. So, Bob, if we could successfully conquer this issue, that issue, and this issue, are you ready to move forward now, Bob? And 9 times out of 10, Bob will tell you yes. Do you see how simple that is? Let me just say it again. We're talking about follow-up. These are the 2 most important questions I have taught for the last decade, and I'm not going to change them. They work even today. I use these 2 questions today. Bob, is there anything stopping you from moving forward with me now on this? Is there anything stopping you? Well, Romacio, yeah, it's just, this right here and this right here and blah, 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 blah. Okay, Bob, I want to make sure I heard you clearly. So you're saying that it's this issue right here and this issue right here. These are the 2 sticking points that are actually preventing you from moving forward. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. All right, cool. So, Bob, my last question, and then we're going to move on, Bob. So are you saying that if we can successfully conquer this issue, and that issue to your liking, you are ready to move forward right now. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Okay, good. Now, here's what you do next. The customer has now told you exactly what they need from you to move forward. They gave you the answer to the test. All you have to do now, providing that your customer is an honest person, is now provide them what it is they're looking for. Give them what it is that they wanted. They just told you that if you gave them this and that, boom, they will go ahead and move forward. It's very simple, but following up is something that is very critical to anything you're selling. Because if you think that you're going to be able to present something to someone and at the first conversation they're going to say, yes, here's my credit card, I'm ready to purchase it, I'm ready to do it, I'm ready to engage, it doesn't work like that with everyone. It doesn't. So you're going to have to follow up. I'm sure many of you by now have heard the old adage is, all your success is in the follow-up. All your success is in the follow-up. So I want to encourage you to take these two questions and apply them immediately. Immediately. Guys, they have worked for literally decades, and they will continue to work for decades. They're very simple in nature, but they're very profound. Very profound. Why? Because always remember, the person asking the questions is the person that's in control. Not the person talking, but the person asking the questions is the one that's in control. And your goal is not to be too talkative, but your goal is to identify what the issue is, number one. And then number two is to provide them exactly what they need to move forward. That is how you conduct yourself as a professional. And I promise you, if you'll just take that simple concept, it's very simple, you'll begin to see success in anything that you do. Because following up is really important. The last thing I want to point out to you is this. When you follow up, that's good, but you also have to follow through. Okay? So remember, question number 2 was you had asked the customer, what did they need to move forward? Once they tell you what they need, you got to provide it. So you have to follow through. To follow up is good, but to follow through is where you get your home run, right? Following up and following through. So, guys, my goal here today was to give you a simple skill, very simple, that you can begin to apply right now, and I promise you, you will see amazing results in what you do. People ask me all the time, how did I build such a large organization of over 750,000 people? How did I do that? And one of the crucial ways, one of the critical things that I do is follow-up. Follow-up is critical. Success is in the follow-up. So the other thing that I do to build a large organization and to do a lot of volume is I keep things very simple. So my presentations, whether they're verbal or whether they're in video form or whatever, they're very short in nature. They're very short. So when I'm piquing someone's interest, I keep it very, very, very short. And when I follow up, it's also 2 questions. So as you can see, the more you hang around me and you learn from what it is that we teach here, we keep things very, very simple. Simplicity is the key to success. The simpler you can keep it, the more successful you will be. You don't need to get fancy and start talking a lot and start running your mouth just to try and sound important. No, remember, when you're dealing with a customer or a client or a team member, whomever, keep it simple. Always remember, the person asking the questions is the person who's in control. Guys, I want you to take this right now. Write these 2 questions down. Write these 2 questions down that we just gave you today on this call. Write these 2 questions down. Now, no matter who you are and where you are in the world, I promise you, these 2 questions work every single time. I've used these questions on small things that I've sold before that were 10, 20, 30, maybe $100, $1,000. I've used these 2 questions on big projects that I'm currently involved now that are a lot of money. Let's just put it that way. They're a lot, big money. Okay, so what I'm telling you, the same 2 questions, they work no matter the situation. No matter the situation. Asking a person what's stopping them from moving forward with you. Listening to their answer and then confirming with them, okay, so if we can successfully conquer this, this, and this, you are ready to move forward. Is that correct, sir? Is that correct, ma'am? Yes. Boom. Very, very simple. Well, guys, as I told you guys, our call today was going to be relatively short, but sweet and profound. Do me a favor. Take these 2 questions serious. I want to see you apply them. I want to see you start to smile. I want to see you start to be happy because you're actually growing something. You're having more and more success. It's beginning to duplicate for you. Things are getting bigger for you. Keep it simple. Simple, profound concepts will take you all the way to the top. Today's conversation, guys, we taught you the skill of how to successfully follow up. Please go ahead, share this message with all those that need it. We will actually upload this to the YouTube channel for you to save it in your archives, listen to it over and over. May God bless you guys, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.